Hello buddies! In today's video I will show you another grind spot that is not really well known, but it's pretty juice money, which is Padix Island. So Padix Island is a spot that is situated here. It's in Calphion territory and it's a pretty isolated island. It's recommended 250 AP and it's pretty hard to access. And you can only use a boat to access it, or maybe a T10 unicorn if you have it, but I suggest to use a boat. But don't worry, the boat I use is really accessible, because you can just go in the shop, Pearl shop, and go into loyalties, and at the bottom of the loyalty shop there is an Etheria cog that you can buy. Ship license Etheria cog, 1000 loyalty, and it can last a pretty long while if you intend to farm a lot of Padix, and it's like really easy boat to control, and it goes pretty fast for a boat, but it has limited like durability, and after it runs out of durability it's basically useless and you need to buy another one. So that's pretty much the best way to access Padix Island, and there's a lot of rotations in Padix Island, but there's one that I prefer because there's a lot of mobs, and since I grind pretty fast, they don't really respawn in front of me, so it's more satisfying for me to be able to kill the mobs all I want without waiting for any of them to spawn, compared to like other grind spots. And there's multiple ways to access that spot, and I will show you. So the first way to access the Padix spot, the grinding spot, you start from here. It's like it has a little opening, and you just pick your horse and you go in. It's a maze basically, Padix Island, so you will have to just check and remember the pathing. So you just go through that wooden door frame. After that you just go down even more the path. You use a little bridge, so now you just do the bridge, and this is a spot that you can grind. That's pretty cool. It's like the second rotation I used, but if you see someone else that is currently grinding here, you can just go up that little slope, and after that you try to check your surroundings, and you will see a little wooden door frame with little spikes on it. You go through it and you advance. After that you will be seeing another wooden structure here. You go through and you continue until you see a little waterfall here, like a river that flows down. Don't go up there, it's another grinding spot. You just continue, and you go down here. You just turn right and you will see that grinding spot. I really like that spot because it has a lot of mobs and I don't overclear the rotation. So that's the spot I grind the most at Padix. All the hours I did, it was at this spot. So that's how you access that spot pretty easily on a horse. So the second spot that you might enter Padix Island into is if you use a boat. You will be at this entrance. At this entrance of this cave, there's like a big boat, and that's like pretty much the sign that the big cave is. And on the map it's situated here, so you enter by here and you enter here, and after that you just use your horse, you come up the stairs, you just go again up the stairs, but since I have a T10 I will just YOLO here. After that you just go through this wooden door frame, and after that you just go down here. You will be seeing a bridge, and after that it's pretty much the same as the last entrance. You just go up that slope, you go up and you go up and you go up, and after that you turn to see the little doorway here, like the wooden doorway. You go through here and you just check left and right, and you see a wooden structure. You go through here, you just jump, and you almost got there. You see this little river. You follow the river with the rocks, and now you pretty much arrived at that spot. And it's this big area is pretty much here. So you just go and the farther side, and you just put your horse and you start grinding. So that's the second spot you can enter. So now that you know how to access the spot, I will tell you what I use to grind Padix. So in the last patch note that the console got on March 20th, I believe, like 4 days ago, they kind of like nerfed Padix in the sense that they increased the AP cap to farm there. So the more AP you have, the faster you will grind, basically. And they put it to 700 AP, and they just increased the HP by 11%. So what I use is I have a lot of the gear, as you can see here, but you basically just need a 700 AP to be able to farm effectively. And if I go in my stats, you can see here I have around 642 AP plus 198 AP. So it's basically 830 around that AP. So I'm way over the 700 AP that is required. And after that, that 700 AP, you basically get 30% of the AP value. So if you like all the other, from my 700 to like 830, I only get the 70% value of the AP. So it's still kind of a lot of AP, but you just need to remember that like bracket, like the cap bracket that to farm Padix. And Padix is also a cool spot because it's half human, half demi-human. So I have a full crystal preset for human damage, like everything that gives human damage, RBF Karma, 2 of them, RBF Vipers, 2 of them, are Glorious Olukas, so for more human damage, monster damage of course with the Acrods, Guaranteer. I use Elcar because I CC the mobs here. The mobs can be CC'd, so I just use that. But you can use any other crystal, like accuracy is not really necessary for me at least. I use Corrupted because critical hit strikes are better than back attacks in that spot because I just one-shot the mobs basically. And Crystal of Brutal Decimation for the monster AP. And the demi-human damage, there's not really crystals for that in my knowledge, so that's why I don't use the demi-human crystals. So that's pretty much my AP. It's a lot, and let's go with the add-ons. So the add-ons, like usual, you want monster damage from a skill that you use a lot. You also want attack speed and human damage because that is a half human damage spot. So some mobs are human, some are not. So that's why I use a human damage in here. And the rest is just like, if it's just like irrelevant, like DP minus. I already did a lot of damage to the mob, so I don't really need that much. So it's just to your confidence for the other add-ons. For the other buffs, I use a Frenzy Draught. But if you really want to go all in on that spot, you can go with the elixir rotation strategy. Like now I have a Frenzy, but if I really want the elixirs, I will go with Sharp Detection. I will go with Perfect Human Hunt because it has human damage. I will go with Down Attack because you do Down Attack in here. You also want the back attack. I don't have any at the moment, but you want the back attack, and also the Endless Frenzy because you need the more AP that you can, and the mobs don't really hurt that much in here. And you need and that's the demi-human damage plus 15. So that's basically the combination of elixirs that you want for that spot. But it's really like not really necessary, especially if you already overcleared the rotation. So it's only five elixirs that you will need. But I just use a Frenzy Draught because it's 30 AP. It works with like the 70% bracket, so it's still a bunch of AP, and the critical hit damage never hurts. I don't use any perfume for that spot, and I use a simple and an exquisite crown meal. I don't really know which the best, simple crown meal or exquisite. Like I will have to do like I don't know really how to do the maths on what is best between the critical hit damage and like the monster 30% 30 monster AP, so I will have to For now, I just use Exquisite because I farm on Arsha, and in case there's someone that wants to challenge a spot, at least I have some PvP option, Crown Meal, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the buffs. Amongst other things, Padix Island is a spot where you can grind one of the 5 components of the Merchant Ring. And at Padix, the only mob that drops it are the Drunk Treasure Hunters. So on that rotation, there's 7 of them that you need to kill if you are there for the treasure piece. Now for the rotation, that big room is pretty straightforward. You just kill all the mobs. The idea is just to kill them really fast. If you overclear the rotation, you're really good because even I couldn't. That's why I picked the rotation, it's because I couldn't overclear it. And you just need to kill all of them. Between 1 and 4 times per hour, you will see that little text pop up. That's basically the event, and you really want to do it because it spawns a lot of mob. So basically you just go to the little urn that has the little fog around it, and it turns purple once the event is there. If it's not there, the little aura is blue, and once you are done with the event, the aura is just gone for like 15 minutes, between 10 and 15 minutes, and after that the blue aura comes back. Before, you had to interact with the little urn to be able to nerf the enemies, but now that we power crept that spot pretty hard, you don't even need the little flowers to be able to nerf the enemies. So you just kill the enemies the fastest as you can, and the duration of the event depends on how fast you kill the mobs, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I talked with my friend and I cleared the event a bit faster than him, maybe because I killed the mobs faster, so it's more like wave based, and the faster you kill them, the faster the event ends, and it's pretty much the same loot from what I saw. So that's why at the end, the trash loot number highly differ depending on how many events you got at that hour. If you got 4, that's really cool because that your pets gets a lot of loot, and that's crazy event. I really like those. But if you get 1, that's the trash loot takes a big hit. So you just kill all of those mobs the quicker that you can, and you will get a lot of loot. So for the result, I did 5 hours at Padix, 4 hours I did only with the yellow scroll, and 1 hour I did with Agris, because Padix is a Agris fever spot. I spent around 26,000 Agris, so if you want to farm for a long period of time, you cannot really sustain 26,000, especially if you want to farm like multiple hours per day. So that's why I did farm with some hours with only a yellow scrolls. So as you can see, if we only check the yellow scrolls, The trash loot varies greatly depending on how many events I got. So in the aggress column, you can see the number of events I got. With only one event, I got around 20k trash loot. With 3 events, I got 23,000 trash loot, and same thing with the other 3 events. And the 4 event, it's around 24.6. So the more events you have in an hour, the more trash loot you will get at the end. And if we see the money, it's pretty good money. It's around like between 1 and 2 billion silver. It depends greatly on how many accessories we drop. So it depends on the item drop rate, how much you have. If you farm on Arsha, personally I only farmed on Arsha because the spot there was no one, so I couldn't really challenge the spot because no one grinds there, especially at that spot that I showed you in this video. And if we just check the other things, the accessories are quite valuable. In a recent patch note, they added the ocean ring that you can farm. It gives like a bunch of defensive stats and accuracy. So that's the one that people are buying now. The best in slot ring for the DP shies and all the people like that. So it's sells for 259 million. It's pretty good for a ring. And also there's the other one, the ethereal e-ring that sells for pretty good money too, as you can see here, 228 million. So the more accessories like that you have, the more money per hour you can get. And the rest is just Caphras, spirit dust for the Caphras, the blackstone weapon, blackstone armor, and that's pretty much it. And you can also get the claws. The claws are quite valuable because soon the artifacts are going to be released on console, and people will want to go farm to Kratuga because Kratuga drops like all different kinds of artifacts and lightstones, I believe. So people will want those to go into Kratuga for the first for the first couple of times. So that's why they are really expensive right now, and you get a bunch per hour, so it's pretty good money. And just to conclude, Padix is a really good spot for money. It varies between 1 billion to like 2 billion per hour. It's maybe not as cracked as like underground Gyfin, especially with like a 300% drop rate, but it's still a really good place to farm, for example, your merchant ring, because you need to go there if you want your merchant ring. That's like mandatory, and it's still pretty good money. And that the event I just showed is really cool because you just, as a guardian, I don't need to move, I just do big AoEs and I kill a lot of mobs, and it's really satisfying. So that's pretty much it for the Padix. Hope you like that video. I really like grinding at that spot. I will go to another spot now. So if you have any questions, just ask them in the comment section and then I will answer them. So see you in another video. Bye buddies!